In the Roman military strategy, the mastery of naval warfare emerged as a vital thread. Understanding the pivotal role that a formidable navy played in supporting land campaigns, the Romans recognized that swift troop and equipment deployment could turn the tide of battles. A powerful naval fleet became the lifeline, supplying besieged ports and blockading those under enemy control. It also stood as a stalwart defense against the perennial menace of pirates who lurked in the vast expanse of the Mediterranean. However, the seas were capricious, and adverse weather loomed as the greatest adversary, restricting naval campaigns to the more favorable months between April and November. The vessels that danced upon the waves of the ancient seas were crafted from wood, their hulls waterproofed with pitch and paint. Ingeniously propelled by both sail and oars, these naval juggernauts bore names like triremes and quinqueremes. The trireme, agile and swift, boasted multiple levels of rowers, a potent force in ramming enemy vessels. At the zenith of this maritime arsenal stood the quinquereme, a behemoth with 3 banks of rowers epitomizing Rome's naval prowess. To transform these vessels into instruments of war, the Romans innovated with the corvus, a boarding device allowing marines to swiftly mount enemy ships. Armed with bronze-covered battering rams beneath the waterline, these vessels were both agile and lethal. Armed with more than just ramming prowess, Roman naval vessels boasted artillery ballistae, unleashing deadly salvos upon enemy positions and vessels. Fireballs, pots of burning pitch, became incendiary weapons, turning the tide of battle with flames rather than force. The mariners commanding these vessels were not just sailors, they were soldiers, expected to transform into light armed land troops when the need arose. Prefects, appointed by the emperor, rose to command fleets, demanding not just nautical prowess, but also strategic brilliance. In the hierarchy of the naval forces, the captain, often holding the title of triarchus or centurion, steered the ship through the tumultuous seas. Fortified ports like Portus Julius became hubs for naval operations, where crews, recruited from local and diverse sources, underwent rigorous training, shaping them into disciplined soldiers ready for the chaos of battle. With these maritime weapons at their disposal, Rome's navy swept away challenges from Carthaginians and Cilician pirates, cementing its domination of the Mediterranean. The seas, once treacherous waters, now bowed to the might of Rome. And in the turbulent waters of the Mediterranean, Rome's early naval exploits were a humble response to the menacing shadow cast by Carthage. While Rome had dabbled in naval affairs in the 4th century BCE, the real maritime awakening occurred in 260 BCE. In a mere 60 days, Rome birthed its first formidable navy, a fleet of 100 quinqueremes and 20 triremes. This swift creation, typically Roman in fashion, was inspired by a captured Carthaginian quinquereme, modified and improved upon. Facing the superior seamanship of Carthage, the Romans devised a game-changer, the corvus, an 11-meter platform, adorned with a massive metal spike. It could be lowered from the ship's bow onto the enemy's deck. This ingenious contraption allowed Roman troops, numbering around 120 on each ship, to board enemy vessels swiftly. The effectiveness of this innovation was dramatically showcased at the Battle of Mylae in 260 BCE off the coast of northern Sicily. At Mylae, facing a fleet of 130 vessels, the Carthaginians underestimated Rome's naval prowess. The corvus turned the tide, leading to a surprising Roman victory. Consul Caius Duilius not only witnessed the enemy commander fleeing in a rowing boat, but also earned Rome's first naval triumph. The Battle of Actium in 256 BCE further validated Rome's naval might, with 330 quinqueremes and 140,000 men taking on the Carthaginians' 350 ships. Rome's victory, with 24 ships lost against Carthage's 100, affirmed its newfound naval dominance. Despite setbacks and the costly failure of the immediate invasion of North Africa, Rome persisted in the First Punic War. Victories and defeats were scattered throughout, but Rome's ability to replace lost ships and men allowed it to prevail. By the war's end, Rome had lost 1,600 ships, but the prize was immeasurable: mastery of the Mediterranean. This dominance facilitated Rome's subsequent wars, notably in the Macedonian Wars against the successor kingdoms of Alexander the Great. As Rome's power expanded, piracy proliferated in the 1st century BCE. With the decline of Rhodes, Pompey the Great was entrusted with purging the seas of this menace in 67 BCE. With 500 ships, 120,000 men, and 5,000 cavalry, Pompey systematically eradicated piracy. Dividing his force into 13 zones, he cleared Sicily, North Africa, Sardinia, and Spain. Finally, he descended upon Cilicia in Asia Minor, the pirate stronghold. Victorious in the Battle of Corcysium, Pompey negotiated a surrender, bringing an end to the pirate scourge and solidifying Rome's absolute control of the Mediterranean. As the dust of conquest settled, a storm brewed within Rome's heart. Civil war erupted, leaving Italy scarred. Julius Caesar emerged triumphant, his dominion extending to Pompey's once mighty fleet, now an integral part of Rome's naval prowess. The fleet, born from the remnants of Pompey's defeat, sailed gallantly in the expeditions to Britain, a testament to the adaptability of Rome's maritime strength. In the aftermath of Caesar's assassination, Sextus Pompeius, son of the fallen Pompey, assumed control of the fleet. By 38 BCE, Octavian faced a formidable threat, prompting him to marshal another fleet. Entrusting Marcus Agrippa, they set forth to challenge Sextus. Forced to innovate due to a lack of skilled seamen, Agrippa embraced brute force. The introduction of a catapult-propelled grapnel, a weapon of devastating efficiency, marked a turning point. In 36 BCE, at the Battle of Mylae in Sicily, this innovation crushed Sextus Pompeius. In 31 BCE, near Actium on the Greek coast, history witnessed a monumental naval clash. Octavian, now titled Augustus, confronted Mark Antony and Cleopatra, vying for control of the Roman Empire. A grand armada faced another, Antony's fleet boasting larger but less maneuverable Hellenistic vessels. Agrippa, leading Augustus's forces, executed a brilliant strategy, catching Antony off guard. Disease, defections, and Agrippa's mastery forced Antony into a fateful decision. On September 2nd, Antony attempted a breakout, but undermatched and outmaneuvered, his fleet crumbled. Cleopatra's escape and Antony's pursuit left his forces to be obliterated by Agrippa and Octavian. The Battle of Actium solidified Augustus's rule, now Emperor of Rome. Establishing fleets at Ravenna and Misenum, Augustus created a naval network spanning Alexandria, Antioch, Rhodes, Sicily, Libya, Pontus, and Britain. These fleets, maintaining operations until the 4th century, stood as symbols of Rome's unrivaled maritime might. Rome's naval supremacy left no room for challengers. The ancient Mediterranean witnessed only one major naval battle post-Actium, in 324 CE between Constantine I and Licinius. After Actium, the echoes of colossal naval clashes faded, leaving Rome to stand alone as the undisputed master of the seas. In the wake of Actium, the waves of large-scale naval conflicts receded, granting Rome undisputed mastery over the Mediterranean. Augustus's strategic naval bases, from Ravenna to Misenum, fortified Rome's dominion, ensuring swift responses to any empire-spanning military exigency. Fleets stationed at key outposts reflected Rome's commitment to maritime supremacy, creating a formidable force that deterred any challengers. As centuries unfolded, Rome's naval legacy endured but transformed. The era of grand naval battles succumbed to the ebb of time, replaced by a different maritime narrative. With one fleeting encounter in 324 CE between Constantine I and Licinius, the ancient seas bore witness to the last gasp of major naval warfare. Yet, the maritime echoes of Rome's naval prowess persisted, whispering tales of a bygone era when the clash of fleets shaped the destiny of empires.